Hey guys, welcome to the CO visit. Colin here, and my trusty coffee. Well, thank you for clicking on this video. Hope everyone's having a good Sunday in this area of the world. It is May 4th, so hope everyone's having a good Sunday and hope you're having a good day and have a good beginning of your week. Well, continuing on with the topic that I've been discussing in some of the past videos, you probably saw it in some of my shorts that I've been uploading. There was a particular short where I put a kind of a collage of pictures of my wife and I standing next to our house. Since first of all, there's a shot of just an empty lot, and then when it was in construction, and then it's kind of finished, but there's lots of trees. You can't see the house that well, but um, basically the idea was giving up all those things for the paradise, right? And that's what a lot of us thought while we were Jehovah's Witnesses. That, well, I'm giving this up now. I'm sacrificing for Jehovah, right? And, he'll give me this or that in the paradise, right? Or I'll have children in the paradise. I'll have a house in the paradise. As life goes on, that little voice inside of you starts nagging at you. If you have any thought capacity left, that's yours, and tell you, hey, that end, by the way, when is it coming? So I wanted to tell you guys a story, something that was kind of interesting that I learned about a little while back. And I was talking with my daughter, Cosette, and they had told me a while back that Cosette told me that her mom's sister and husband were going through a real tough time. He was an elder and he got disfellowshipped. And so he was a political family as well, like me. Okay, I married one of the sisters, and he married one of the other ones. So we were brother-in-laws through political relation. And so he was kind of the outsider as well, and always got treated a little bit that way. But interestingly, they were one of those couples that never had children. Kind of interesting because when you look at the outcome of that, it's very telling about the mindset of a person when they are a Jehovah's Witness. And this happens to a lot of people. Now, this guy is a little bit older than me, a couple years older than me. I'd say he must be, I don't know exactly how much older he was than me, but he's probably right now 48, maybe 49 in that area. I'm 43, going to be 44 here pretty soon. And, you get to a point in your life, you're getting into your late 40s, almost 50s, you're knocking on the door of 50, and you never had a family, never had the chance to have children. And, that biological clock, the ticking gets louder and louder. And you wonder, you know, what would it have been like to have a child? What would it be like? Who would they look like? What would they be like? But of course, I know some inside things that you guys don't know, but I understand 100% why this guy did what he did. And I'm not justifying it. I'm not going to justify adultery or anything like that. Okay. I'm not condoning it or anything, but I understand. Okay. I understand because in the end, he ended up cheating on her, on his wife, my ex's sister. And the gal had a child. So he got this other gal pregnant. It's funny that he didn't just sit down with her and talk to her about having a child. Number one, because she won't do it. And number two, he probably didn't want to have a kid with her. Because if there's any other woman on the face of this planet that's more unbearable than my ex-wife, it's her sister. So he probably didn't want to anyway. He probably thought, I'm not bringing a child into this world and having her being the mother, knowing how that family is. Good call. Good call. He was smarter than me. Of course, he knew them better as well. He had a big jump on me. And it's funny because, you get these people like this gal, you get these sisters or brothers and sisters, and you probably all know one who never have kids. They never have kids, but they are number one in criticizing and telling others what to do and giving advice to others who do have kids. Oh, you should do this. Oh, you should do that. Well, the kids, you have to do this. And you're sitting there going, bitch, go have a kid. Go have a kid. If you're such an expert, go have a kid and raise your own. People that's one of my pet peeves. It really is. People that don't have kids and they still have the gall to tell other people what to do. People that have kids, and it's like, go have your own kid. If you want to be controlling somebody else's life, you want to be telling somebody else what to do with their child, and you want to raise their child in like what they did with my kids, with my daughters. And it's like, why didn't you just have your own? Then you can do whatever you want. So it all comes down to this kind of this sick power struggle. It's real narcissistic BS. I don't know. But anyway, but what's interesting to me is that a person like that who supposedly they don't have kids because they're dedicating their time to the kingdom, right? They're dedicating their time to Jehovah, and they're going to put off having a family until the new system, right? Until the paradise. And yet this guy didn't do that. In the end, he had to sit down and really think about it and think about the what ifs. What if this end doesn't come? What if it's not real? What if it's not true? And I'm sneaking up here on 50 years old. Okay, I'm sneaking up here on 50 years old. And I haven't had a kid yet, Yo por esto cerré esa puerta y usted gritando. Sorry, guys. Sorry for the interruptions, but life is happening. So, anyway, so the guy's got to sit down and really start thinking about, what, just that little nagging doubt in the back of his mind. What if this isn't true? What if what they've told us isn't true? There is no end. It's not going to come. It's not going to come, or it's not going to come for another 1,000 years or whatever. We have no idea, right? And I'm sneaking up here on 50 years old. I haven't had any kids. I'm not having a kid with this lady. I'm sure that he can't stand it anymore with her. And, they'll give you an idea. This is the gal that spearheaded coming here a few years ago when they took Cosette out of school and took her back to that town where they live, basically kidnapping her. She was the one at the head of that. So that gives you an idea. So it's interesting. What does that tell me? When I analyze that deep down inside, that person's already waking up. He's already waking up because he wasn't willing to take that gamble, to take that risk. Because deep down inside, he doesn't believe it. If a person's belief in supposedly what God says and what God promises and it's a fact, and it's going to come true because it's in his Bible, and as like what the Watchtower already says, always says, um, then you wouldn't think twice about doing something like that. You wouldn't doubt in what God says. But there's something in the back of his mind that told him, I just don't quite believe this 100%. Is it worth the risk? Is it worth going the rest of my life and never having a child? Never getting to have a son or daughter that I can raise and love and have that experience? Interesting, isn't it? And I asked that question to a lot of Jehovah's Witnesses out there. Are you willing to make that gamble? Those of you who are giving up certain things because of what you think is coming. And that's what I was told all the years that I was growing up in the 80s and 90s. And they told us, not to go to school and not to do this and not to do that. Because at that time, especially when there were a few of the generation of 1914 that were still alive, the end was so imminent. None of us were going to get old. None of us. It was right there. Now here I am, 43 years old. All those people are dead. No end ever came. They changed the doctrine, came up with the overlapping bullshit. And I don't regret having my daughters, not one bit. And I don't regret having my stepchildren here as well, that are my children. I don't regret it one bit, and I never will. Regardless of what happens in this life, I'll always love my children, always. And you know why it's very important to have children, guys? You know why it's very important? Because when you have your own children, you learn what the concept of unconditional love is. The concept that the Jehovah's Witnesses tell us doesn't exist. It's not that way. Oh, yes, it is. And any of us that have children know that it is. No matter what they do, no matter how good or how bad, you always love your children. Always. And at any rate, your children came into this world. Why? They came in to this world because of a conscious decision that you made with your partner. Not them. I made that decision, and my ex-wife made that decision to create life twice. So there's always a shared responsibility of what our children do and what they become. That's why I think everybody should. But everybody has their circumstances. I understand that. And, some people, maybe they didn't do it, not because of Watchtower necessarily, but, but those of you that can, if you're in that possibility still in your life, then you should probably do it while you can. So if you look at the case of this ex-elder, now disfellowshipped, disgraced elder, he found someone that was willing to give him a child. And he took advantage of it. Guess his faith wasn't all that strong after all, was it? Well, thanks for watching this video. And just want to remind everybody, on the CO visit, the memberships are available. They're activated. You can become a member of this channel anytime you want. Just click on that on the tabs where it says share and publications and all that. At the very end, it says memberships. It'll give you all the information that you need there. And you can subscribe to the channel, and there's many other ways to support the CO visit. Remember, on May 17th, as well, as I mentioned, There will be a special interview. I'll be being interviewed by KC from the Facts on JW channel. You can go over to her channel, check that out. Uh, Subscribe to her as well, support her. And thanks for watching, guys. Be blessed. See you in the next one.